the folks coming in have an idea of what group healing means. I am not a Reiki practitioner. I'm not a healer. I work in the realm of human energy, so I will open up energy lines. Your system is going to do what it's going to do. I'm not manipulating your system. I'm simply amplifying who you already are. So as we do this, I'm going to roll energy, and the more people that are in here, the more intense it gets. You might get lightheaded. You might get dizzy. This will last. It'll last a little bit of time. It's definitely over an hour for this kind of energy work that you're going to feel. And this is your system doing the work. I'm amplifying who you are. I'm expanding who you are. But I'm not like taking a Ford truck and turning it into a Lamborghini. We're just going to amplify and like increase the performance of the Ford truck. So we're going to increase the performance of your system using what you already have, just using it differently and in a higher vibrational level. So I am not the healer. You are the healer. I am not going to do anything but amplify who you are, but I have to give the disclaimer because people do get lightheaded in my rooms, especially people who are accustomed to Reiki energy, Reiki practitioners, because they're expecting it to be what they're acclimated to. My energy is much higher, much more intense, and it's going to amplify everything you have. So if you have a lot of trauma, it may amplify a lot of trauma. If you have some aches and pains, we're going to rattle that open and hopefully shake the discomfort out and take care of those pains. If you go into my account and watch that middle video that I have, you'll see that a lot of people just have these sort of miraculous responses. So here's the disclaimer. If you get lightheaded, if you get dizzy before we start, if you get lightheaded, if you get dizzy, let me know, let the moderators know. There will be moderators coming in. If you have heart palpitations, anything happens, do not leave my live without letting somebody know. I want to make sure that you come down. We bring you back to baseline before you leave the live. You can leave. You don't have to stay the whole time. But if you're going to leave, I want to make sure that you're in it like a baseline space, because I want to make sure that you are acclimated back to a baseline. My energy is intense, and a lot of people are like, okay, I know energy. This is, if you've never played with my energy before, you have to acclimate to it. It is very intense energy. And it is not spiritual energy, it's metaphysical energy. It's playing with fourth dimension using physics like math, length, width, height, time. Don't be scared. This is your own system. I'm not doing anything. You'll be okay. We'll bring, by the time that you finish with what we're doing, you'll be super relaxed. People sleep really well with what I do. You'll sleep really well, but we're going to raise your vibration super high, expand you out, and then I will bring you back down. Just like when you do a workout, you kind of do the intense parts in the middle, you do the warm-up, you do the hard workout, and then you do the cool down. We're going to do that. We're doing group healing tonight. This is for, we're going to probably go from toes to head, and people sleep really well after doing this, so it's a lot of fun. So we're going to go from toes to head, and I'm just going to take a tally of what, there's 70 people here. When I go to open the energy lines for everybody, anyone that wants to participate, just choose to come into the circle. If you don't want to participate, choose to be an observer, and you won't be affected by the energy in any way. If you get lightheaded, if you get dizzy, I want you to just focus on my face and my voice. Stay really calm, stay focused on what I'm doing, and that'll disconnect you from the collective. So we got about 80. And you don't have to let me know if you're choosing to participate. You just consciously do it. You can say, I want to be an observer and watch. Some of you will feel it. Some of you, there will be some folks that do not feel my energy. There's a couple reasons for that. Sometimes it's because your system's just not familiar and it wants to know what's happening first. Other times it's just because feeling is not your dominant sense. If you want to lay down, lay down. If you want to sit, sit. If you want to stand, stand. Follow your own internal guidance. If you feel like putting your arms up, whatever your body wants you to do, just do it. There's no right or wrong way. If you feel if you feel a little overwhelmed, just step back from your phone. Give a little bit more space. What's going to happen is it's almost like you're all voting. Everyone will vote and say, this is what's going on with me. This is my number one priority. And whatever is the majority is the theme for the healing. I don't pick it. You collectively are going to pick it once I open the energy lines. So the first 10 minutes is just going to look really weird because I'm moving my hands. The energy's starting to roll. It means nothing. I'm just like, imagine that you're all human computers and we're just plugging you into the server. So all I'm doing is just plugging everybody into the server for the moment. And we're just connecting everybody. Grief. So grief seems to be a theme tonight, huh? Okay. Yeah, there's a little bit of like, there's the hesitation in some of you. So we're just going to acclimate the energy. All right. So everybody start breathing. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure you drink water if you feel like you need water. So for the next few minutes, I'm just connecting everybody. There's quite a few of you, so it's going to take me a minute. Anxiety, this will help with anxiety, definitely. There we go. Okay, so let's start moving it. I'm going to move it fast just so that we can get some stuff done. This will be clarity. This will calm you down. This will reduce the cortisol. Okay. So I'm still just connecting everybody because we have folks are still coming in. Just connecting, 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 connecting. Okay, I'm going to start rolling the energy. You may start to feel it. This is still the warm-up. If you don't feel it, that's okay. We're not at the intense level yet. I'll tell you when it's going to get intense so that your system is ready for it. Okay, we're starting to turn it up. Yep. Make sure you're breathing because sometimes we get caught up in like this feeling like we're riding the wave of this new energy that we're feeling. We forget to breathe. Make sure you're breathing. Just joining. We're just starting. Come on in. Come on in. Join. Just connecting everybody now. We're starting to open the energy lines. Okay, there we go. So if anyone's curious, there's no need to do what I'm doing. This is just me prepping everybody. We're getting ready for a group healing. We're going to start with the toes in just a moment. But I'm connecting everyone's energy so that it's more intense. The more people that are in here, the more intense it gets. The faster we can move. Now let's get everybody connected. Some of you may start to get goosebumps or feel the energy moving. If you're standing, make sure your knees are slightly bent so that you don't lock them and lose blood flow in your legs. And we're going to start rolling that energy. You don't have to watch. You can keep your eyes closed. Just listen. Welcome to Annie's house. That is what my TikTok lives are called when we do this kind of work. Okay, we're going to start expanding out that energy, connecting it, opening it up, and I'm going to start going into the toes, and we're going to move at the pace of the slowest person in the group, and if you think it's you, it probably is not. Here we go. So what I'm feeling right now, there's a couple of you that have crunched toes. Some of you are from wearing shoes that were too tight when you were little kids, but much of this is just like a fear of taking up more space than you are given. I'm going to pull those toes out, the energy around those toes out, stretch them out, cause those toes to take up more space. So perfect timing. If it's your toes, perfect timing, perfect session to come into. We're going to start with the toes. I've got toes. Let's pull those toes out. I'm going to work on the whole foot because energetically some of you are not taking up your worthiness space. You're shrinking. I'm going to pull open that energy so that it expands beyond the shape and the footprint of your foot so that it takes up more like a boot. Pull that open. Let those feet take up space on this earth. Some of you are going to start to feel the energy, some of you are not. We're just beginning. It might take about 15 minutes to warm up your system. You might feel this in your head, in your spine, and that's okay, right? Pull those feet out. For some of you, this is a worthiness. So if you are given the space for a bigger footprint, take every bit that you are allocated. Shrinking does not help the world. Okay, we're going to start to come through those toes. We're going through the right foot first. I don't know why we're separating tonight, but we're separating for a reason. I will honor that. Ooh. Oh, we're going through the left foot first. Left foot. Okay. What I'm going to do for the collective, I'm going to place a tube underneath your left heel. Let some of that energy drain as I'm pushing from the toes to the heel. We're giving it an exit path. Let the energy drain out of your feet. For some of you that have toe fungus, some athlete's foot, there's probably a gut imbalance. Probiotics will help with that significantly. Okay, good. Okay. All right, we're going to hold in the heel. We've got some folks with some heel pain in that left heel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you. Okay. So I won't be able to tell if any one particular person has an issue. I cannot tell. But as a collective, I see tallies and I see reports on my dashboard. Okay. Yeah. And say, who's feeling it in their heels right now? Because I've got some heart palpitations. I'm going, as I'm moving this energy, this has been here. This is old energy for some of you. For about 18 of you, it's old energy moving out of that left foot. Okay. Moving it through. We're moving some of that, what looks like fungus or bacteria, but it's not. It's energetic, like energetic dehydration causing that skin to have the toenail, what looks like fungus, discoloration in the toenails, the dry skin under the bottom of the feet, and the irritation in that heel is from not giving yourself enough expansive energy, that it's dehydrating the energy system. Okay, slow. Out. Okay, so now I'm going to start moving up on that left foot. We're going to come up to the ankle and we're going to stop at the top of the ankle. And I'm just going to hold it right there. Run through the toes again, through that foot. I'm going to hold at that ankle. Now I'm going to come over to that right foot. I'm going to move that right foot, moving very differently, very different energy. Those are the toes that are curled. This is resistance into the future. This can also be tension, anger, where we curl our fingers, curl our feet in like an internalized anger. Pull those toes out a little bit more on the right. Stretch them out. Ooh, push that foot out. Now come in to the top of the foot and the arch of the foot. Okay, very different. Why is it turning out? We've got resistance in moving forward. So we've got some folks that are having some challenges honoring that path forward. There's fear for 17 of you. It's fear, and for others, uncertainty. About three of you, uncertainty. What else do we have in here? Moving too fast. When two of you are trying to slow yourself down because you're moving too fast. Trust the pace that you're at. Fear is what's slowing you down. Two of you are moving out because you're moving too fast. Like your success is coming, things are happening, and it's like overwhelming you and you're trying to put brakes on. It's okay. You got this. The speed is the speed. Okay, we're going to get both of them up to the ankles. All right, now I'm going to start moving both ankles together. So we got bilateral movement upward. Oh, I'm going to hold right there. There's some trauma in the ankles, trauma right above the ankles for a couple of you. No, not a couple of you, one of you. I like how precise my system is. No, not a couple. Okay. Slow down to the slowest person in the group. Okay. What do we've got? We've got some skeletal energy on that left leg. This is dehydration. This is trauma. Trauma keeping you from having a presence in your body. Do not apologize if it's you. It's all good. We're in this as a group. It's more intense when we stay together as a group. Right now I'm working on that left foot. Some of you have some like skeletal energy, like the meat, the tendons, the skin, the fascia. There's energy that's missing. Like the magnetic energy is not transmitting properly. This is the past robbing you of existing here in the present moment. Yeah. Let's clear that out of there. It does not serve the world to shrink who you are. Okay. I'm going to raise the intensity in the ankles. If you feel vibration, that's me. That's me increasing your vibration. If you are in pain because of what I'm doing, if opening your energy lines is too uncomfortable, like amplifying what's there is too uncomfortable, let me know. We'll slow it down. Yeah, make a vow today, folks. Stop shrinking. Okay, keep breathing. Some of you are forgetting to breathe. I can feel it in the pulse. Okay, now let's start rolling up. We want to work on, we got grief. Grief is one of the heavier ones that we have, emotions today. Okay, we're heading up to the calves, heading up to the shins. Okay, good. Got some good movement going. Collectively, we're combing up the legs pretty well. It's good. It's good momentum. Okay, we're getting into the knees for those that have knee discomfort, joint discomfort, arthritis in the knees, swelling, inflammation. We're going to start moving that energy. This should help a little bit. Okay. If anybody gets lightheaded, we will slow down. Okay. Okay. We're moving up through the knees, slowly. Okay. See my throat reacting for those that are watching. Okay, let's get that. Let's focus on the right knee and the left knee one at a time. focus on the one that's hurting you the most first. Doesn't matter which one you pick. But we've got also, if you see my throat reacting, you see how it's reacting. For some of you, these knees, the energy in the knees, the blocking in the knees. Some of this has to do with not being authentic to yourself and speaking your truth. It's preventing you from moving forward. It's causing you to be stuck in your world. Let's get that energy out of there. That is not serving you. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit extra time around the knees, but my goal is to get up to that heart because we're focusing on grief tonight. Okay, there we go. We're going to start to move into the thighs, quads. Ooh, okay. So what I'm feeling right now, sometimes we use our quads to shield us, like our upper thighs. They are symbolic of like wearing armor. So we're going to soften that armor, right? If you are here right now in this room with me, listening to my voice, you are not under attack, right? So at the very least, you are safe in this moment. Deep breath. Okay, let's get everybody back on board. Just intensify that energy. Move up, move up, move up. There we go. Roll that up, roll that up. Okay, so we're going to move up onto the hips, the pelvic bone. I'm coming up. I'm going to skip over the root chakra zone, the sacral zone, because we'll take a lot of time there. I want to make sure we get up to the upper organs, the upper torso. We'll come back if we have time, but I want to make sure that we get that grief piece. And grief is not just the loss of a loved one. Grief can be the loss of a marriage. It can be the loss of a job you loved, a loss of a friend, a falling out. We can grieve in many different ways. Grief is complex, and grief impacts us in such different ways. Mostly our heart, but many of our organs process grief. Grief goes in our gut. Grief goes in our intestines can hold on to that grief of not wanting to let go of anger, like the grief of like losing something, even if it wasn't healthy for us. The letting go has a grieving process. Remembering traumas that we didn't know were real, and starting to remember suppressed traumas has a grieving process. Yeah, so digestive system, this is beautiful for it. We're going to go up into the heart first. We're going to do heart, liver, lungs, and then we'll come back down if we have time. Anger and rage. Anger hits the liver so hard. Look at how many people that have gallbladder issues that have internalized anger that looks like depression. So common, and we misdiagnose it so often. When really what it is internalized rage. And just like our liver and our gallbladder, our appendix, they process the physical component. They also process the emotional piece too. Okay, here we go. We're going to start coming in. We're going to start strengthening that area. We're coming up into the heart zone, heart space. So I'm wrapping everybody with just some extra energy, because when I intensify it, I want to hold that energy in that space. So we're kind of containing it right now, and then I'm going to start increasing that vibration so that you can shake it out, like we're moving powdered sugar through a sifter. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow back down the area where we just came from. Let it roll down to the hips, through the legs, down the heels, out into the center of the earth. Down, down, down. Shake it, loosen it, let it go. Okay. I'm starting to roll up. We're going to increase. Some of you may be able to feel it, hear it in your ears as the vibration gets higher. Some of you that have sensitive hearing will start to hear a humming. That's just us doing the work. If you have tinnitus, one of two things is going to happen. It's either going to ring a little bit louder or it's going to go away. If you feel like you have goosebumps or micro tremors, that's okay. That's part of this process. Okay, hold. Okay, make sure you're breathing. Make sure you're breathing. I'm going to hold that energy for you. We're going to lock it in. We're going to hold it and just let it bounce a little bit. Make sure you're breathing. Okay, what I'm doing right now is I'm expanding that energy in the upper torso. We're going to start opening up that rib cage, the energetic piece of it. If you have grief, let it go. If you have fibromyalgia, breathe through your nervous system. Let that muscular skeletal system air out. It is overwhelmed. There we go. One more. Some of you may be feeling extra energy vibrating at the top of your head. We are activating different parts of your neuroanatomy. Every part of your brain is responsible for a different paranormal capability. It's all part of science. We just haven't caught up with consciousness yet. Science cannot. We don't have the way to measure it yet, so we can't validate it through science to have reliable, repeatable, predictable data, but every part of our brain does something different. And if I focus on any one part of the brain for the group, most of you will feel that overstimulation in a form of something that we would consider to be paranormal or multidimensional, fourth, fifth dimensional. Keep breathing. We are opening up that space just a little more. Those that are feeling anxiety, tension, give that some space. Stretch it out so it has room to move. The more space, the more movement, the easier it is to flush out of the system. Okay. Okay. I am going to start flushing some of that energy down the body intentionally. Some of you may feel some hiccups, roadblocks. It's okay. We're going to get as much as we can flushed out of that body. We're pushing it down like we're squeezing a slice of lemon through a slicer. Yes, lemon squeezer. We're going to move that citrus squeezer to get that juice to go down the body, through the body, down the legs, through the heels, into the center of the earth. Okay, now we've got a little bit more room. Let's open up that chest a little bit more. If you feel compelled, go into a cactus kind of pose. Open up the chest cavity. Let that space have some more wing room to expand. There we go. Some of you may want to move it out through your shoulders, down your arms, through your hands instead of down your legs. That's okay too. Just take the intention of neutralizing that energy as it's released from your body. Let it release out as neutral energy. Just like if somebody made something scary in the sand at the beach and the tide comes up and washes that out, kids get to create something new with it. Open that up, move that out, push through. Whew. Okay. Okay, let's go. Now I'm going to focus the gentler, calmer side. Now that we've made some room, I'm going to stir this energy a little bit more. We're going to roll it. And we're going to start bringing some compassion to that grief. And remember, grief comes in many different forms. Grief can be the loss of a job. It can be a child getting married and moving out of the house or going away to college. It can be all sorts of different things can create grief. Sometimes we think we want this white picket fence, and then our life turns out to be anything but that, and we grieve that fantasy that we had as a little kid of how things were supposed to be. "16 of you lost a lot of money lately." The grief of like the finances, of losing large sums of money and then worrying about bills. Like there's 16 of you that are having some money issues. So we're going to release that grief too. There's more than 16 that are having money issues. 16 of you lost a large sum of money lately in the recent year and a half. We're shaking some trauma is what's happening. Yeah, we're hitting some of that grief, right? Integration has grief. Yeah. If your tongue is on the roof of your mouth, let it drop down and relax. Drop your shoulders. Yeah, so you can see the comments. Okay, right? That has its own grief. It has its own grief, and we're going to honor that. The grief of a bad decision that costs us a consequence has a grief to it. Remembering a memory from childhood that was traumatic, that we had suppressed, and we sometimes have to grieve letting go of the trauma because we've held it for 30, 40, 50 years. Letting go of trauma has a grieving process. Okay. Open that up, open that up, open that up. We're just releasing. Release. Come through, let it come to your mind, honor it, say thank you. Allow it to neutralize. Allow it to neutralize. I'm going to run some energy from our atlas, from the back of your skull, down to your tailbone, your butt. I'm going to run some energy just to help. I'm going to run down the spine. The spine carries so much data, and it is like the major highway of the highways of our nervous system. I'm going to move energy down that meridian. I'm actually going to start at the nose tip, the tip of the nose. We're going to come up and down, over. And we're going to release as I scrub those highways, as we get those street sweepers, we're going to release the trauma. Just let it roll down that highway. Okay, for those that are having any back issues, this should help with that. We're going to catch some of that. If you feel like crying, honor that. There's no witnesses. The only person that's seen is me. Okay, grab that, flush that. Okay. If you're having back pain right now, neck pain, stand up straight or lay down flat. Try not to sit. But if you can lay down or stand up straight, I'm going to move energy. I'm going to go from the tip of the nose up. Make sure you're breathing. Don't forget to breathe as you feel this. There's a temptation to want to freeze and just enjoy it. You're no good to us if you're not breathing. Okay, roll it, roll it, roll it. All right, some of you might feel a little intense. I want you to take your hands, your body, whatever you need to do, and you want to shake it out. Give your system, if you need to do some sort of old school twist and shout kind of dance, do that. If you want to shake it off the way dogs shake off stress, let it come out of your body. Shake it, shake it, shake it. As ridiculous as that sounds, it's powerful. If breathing is your thing, I want you to take in the as much as you can, and I want you to push it out with force. Like you're blowing out this giant candle and you only get one shot. This let it go. Breathing is powerful. Breathing is one of the most powerful things for weight loss, for trauma release. It is powerful. Really strong, deep, controlled breathing. That gets the stuff stuck at the bottom of our lungs. Okay. How is everyone doing? Let's do a check before we take a 2-minute break, just so everyone can catch up. How is everyone doing? Drink water if you're thirsty. This is burning calories. Even though you're not really doing a lot, you're burning calories. Okay. If you're a little bit dizzy, just hang in there. Let us know if it doesn't subside in a couple minutes. Sobbing is a beautiful, powerful thing. So we are at the halfway mark right now. If you are tired, enjoy it. You can check out if you're feeling good. If you're not having any reactions, you can check out, go to sleep. If you want to hang in there for the second half, hang in there. We'll go back into the digestive system. We'll do some things with the throat and the head. So migraines. Energy is powerful. We spend so much money on over-the-counter drugs and pharmaceuticals and doctor's appointments, and we don't think to have a doctor for our human energy. Okay, we'll do the spine. Let's see. Okay, so why don't we start with the head first, since a lot of you have some stuff. We'll do head, throat, and we'll close out with digestive. Okay, so let's go to the top of the head. We're going to open up the crown. I'm going to come in, shake it off. If we're all ready for part 2, anyone new coming in, I will open your energy so you can participate. If you're coming in for the second half, we're just starting the second half now. Yeah. You'll find that food intolerances have a lot to do with energy alignment and gut balance. Our gut, our mind, body, spirit, right? Our gut brain needs its own fuel, and probiotics are powerful. Not a nutritionist, just a fan of probiotics. And then our spirit, mind, body, spirit needs to have cleaning too. We don't have a lot of cultural influence on cleaning your energy from the inside out. Okay, so let's come into the top of the head right now. Deep breath. I'm going to come in. I'm going to connect everyone. We've got new folks. Okay. A lot of observers. I'll get you all in the center. Okay. Okay. Let's go in through the crown, the top of the head. Raise the vibration first. We're going to hold. We're going to let everyone, you might feel some pressure on your eyes, your ears. Those that are sensitive, you might feel or hear the noise of sound, your environment, a little hum. Those that, some of you might feel your top of your head being tender right now. That's exactly what we're doing. Opening up, intensifying, awakening. So I'm going to scan everyone's brain. We're going to put you as a collective. I'm going to scan the collective. So I'm going to get data on the collective right now. Ooh, one of you is about to have a spiritual awakening. Congratulations and surprise. That's about to crack open as I move this energy. Ooh, I saw some sparks. If you need help with that spiritual awakening, it's what I do. Deep breath, deep breath. Scan that brain again. I'm going to come in from the eyes. Some of you are having ocular migraines. We're going to move some of that energy through the optical nerves, specifically the right one. Flush it down through the body. If you're using your arms, let it flush out through your arms, out your palms. If you're using your legs, let it flush out, down through your heels into the center of the earth. Yeah. Yep, this is going to help with ocular migraines. Removing that buildup. It gets built up. Like, if you don't clean your bathtub, it gets nasty. Energy gets stuck around our 3D eyes. Oh, I'm going to hold right there because I can feel the discomfort in some of you. We're going to hold and just let it. Keep breathing if you can feel this. Keep breathing because this is the migraine getting flushed out, or the cause of the migraines. It's going to go through your throat. Push it. If it's going through your feet, let it go with force, like as if a hose, big, fat, like giant hose, the size of a ball, a kid's ball, bouncy ball is just going to go through our head. Push that power of water, that radius, or the diameter. Just push it like we're power washing with energy. Power washing. Push it out. And as you're doing that, I'm going to come behind you with intensifying energy. Help move that sticky, gooey stuff out of your body. And down through your legs. Okay, so what do we've got? Grief, there's sorrow. There's surrender in the white flag sense. There's 8 of you that are feeling like really defeated, that white flag, defeated feeling. Let's help move that energy out. Defeat is not, that's exhaustion. It takes a lot of power, a lot of resources in our body to hold on to trauma, to hold on to gooey, icky, trapped energy. it takes a lot of resources, and it takes a toll on our immune system. Okay. I want you to take your hands, if you're in a place where you can, and I want you to imagine you're scanning your body and you are forcing that energy out of your body, down through your legs, through your heels, into the center of the earth. Move it with your hands as if your hands had power to push it through. Push. Okay, let's go back. Now, I'm going to do some more work around the eyes. Come in, frontal lobe. We're going to move backwards. Some of the sinuses caused by energetic irritation. So in the back of your head, for some of you that have been watching CNN, stop it. I can feel like this infused programming in the back of your head. It's chaos. Anything that sensationalizes news and pits people against more people, that's not helping heal us. It creates chaos in our mind, which prevents us from healing. All right, now I'm going to start looking at the atlas. We're going to start looking at the atlas, the back of the head. We're going to move down that spine again. Yeah, some of you if you just jolted, I'm poking your C3, your third vertebrae in your cervical. Okay, we're hitting our PTSD, folks. So if you're feeling this where I'm pressing right now, this is trauma. My DID, folks. Breathe. Make sure you're breathing. Okay, moving through. Ooh, all right. We're at the very, very, very bottom of the neck. I'm holding. We got trauma sitting there for some of you. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. It's heat. We're going to let that heat dissipate before I move forward to the thoracic. We're just going to hold. Hold and wait. See how much of that squeezes through because attention is being put on it. All right, thoracic. Ooh, T6. Three of you've got some injuries in your T6. Let's hold and heal. I'm warming up the space so your system can heal itself. Breathe through it if you can feel that. If you're one of those folks that's affected by the T6, breathe through it. Okay. 9, 10. Oh, lumbar. We're entering the lumbar right now. We're going to hold that lumbar space. We're in L1. If you start crying, that is a great sign. Let me know if you're one of the folks that start crying. There should be about 7 of you. Because this is releasing a lot of burdens, the energy of the burdens. It's not the burden itself, it's the energy we assign to it, the value that we gave it. I'm squeezing that L1. Breathe through it, breathe through it. Yeah. Welcome to Annie's house. This is where you get to love yourself first. Breathe through it. Good, we're starting to move. L2. L2 is instability. this is instability. This is like recent divorce, losing a spouse, like relying on somebody else and they're not being there. This L2 right now has a lot of instability. It's like, what is life now? Being caught off balance, caught off guard. That's hitting in your L2 right now. Not everyone's L2. Outside of this, when people watch this on YouTube, this is this group. The majority of people. Okay. We're going to move to L3. This is the great big world feeling. For some of you, this is like the overwhelm of like being taken care of and then suddenly having to figure everything out on your own, like how to pay bills on your own, even if you're in your middle-aged, or this is like having to figure stuff out when somebody else took care of it for you. That's in the L3 right now, and this is men and women. Doesn't matter, but this L3 is like that sort of like divorce, losing a spouse, losing a family member, losing, if you were the caregiver, what's your role now? That's in that L3 right now. Breathe through it, breathe through it. You can see my hand shaking, and there's like micro tremors. It's hard to catch it, but there's micro tremors from the energy sitting in that L3. Some of you might feel like vibration in your knees right now. Make sure they're not locked. Make sure that that energy has a path and it doesn't get trapped at the knees, that it can flow through to the ankles, through the heels, into the center of the earth. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Body temperature is a good sign. Stuff is moving. It's leaving vacancies, and that's a good thing because we're going to backfill that. But we're not going to backfill it with what you think. We're going to do something else. L4. This is emptiness. This is hitting your heart. This is betrayal. And this is specific to the group right now. L4 typically doesn't hold betrayal, but for this group, there's about 8 of you. 8 of you. 7, 8, 9. That's hitting my chest. That's betrayal. That's betrayal. That's like affairs. That is business partners. That's friendships. That's just betrayal. Life betrayal. Push it down, let it go through those legs or out your arms, whichever direction, or up through your crown if you want to move up. Let it go. We are, S1 is like drowning in water, like we're drowning in something. We're drowning in emotion, drowning in financial debt, drowning in overwhelm, drowning. This is the S1. This is like heading into your butt. This is drowning. It's like it's the feeling of being in sporty waters and having nothing to hold on to. This is the world spinning around you. And this isn't just this moment right now. These are emotions that could have been there 40 years ago, but they got trapped and they're just sitting there. Let's hold on that S1. Let's get some stability. If you have to imagine a little boat coming by and picking you up, if you have to imagine that you're on a floaty in stable water, if you have to imagine that you lift yourself out of the water and put you on the beach, you do what feels natural to you, but get yourself stable and grounded in the present moment. This is throat. This is speaking truth. Part of this, in this choppy waters feeling of drowning, is because we did not speak what needed to be spoken, and the world hit us. Like we held our breath instead of speaking it, and that breath got swallowed. There we go. Ooh, 4. 4 is the anxiety. This is the test, folks. Folks that are taking tests, this is your anxiety sitting in 1, 2. One of you. One of you's got some test anxiety in S1, S5, S5. Ooh, that's hitting the head. Ooh. This is our performance anxiety, folks. Okay, here we go. This is our S5. Let's let it go. We're going to move it through that tailbone. And I'm going to push on the very tip of that bottom of that tailbone. That very tip, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to fuse in some power. I have not used my own energy yet. I've just used intensification, but at this moment, I am going to burst energy up through your tailbone right now, and it might, for some of you, feel like a silver cavity or some kind of cap going on. That's okay. This is going to give you some power. It's a little perk for being on tonight, and I worked out at the gym, and I got a little extra energy. I'm going to push it through. And it's sacred geometry. It's like a little swimmer's cap or beanie you're going to put on your tailbone, and it's a little like coating of sacred geometry to remind you who you really are. Okay. All right, let's do a check. How's everyone doing right now? From the head to the toes, how's everyone doing? We're going to take a couple minute break, and then I'm going to disconnect everyone and start bringing everybody down. Start bringing that energy down. Good, good, good. We are very proud of you if you're crying right now, because that is a beautiful way to release. Sad is okay, right? We're feeling the feelings. We're letting them up and we're letting them out. It's a whole lot better than having that giant, having a giant attack on our body because we let too much sit in our body for too long. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start to close everybody out. Hang in there. If you got to go, just hang in there for 10 more minutes. Let me bring all of your energies down. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to make sure that everybody comes home, back to home base, to their system. If they floated out into a euphoric paradise of like lazy river life, I'm going to bring everybody back home to the present moment. Bring everybody back down to a normal state that got really high in the vibration. Get everybody grounded. Everybody back down, and then I'm going to disconnect everyone, and I'm going to stick around for, I don't know, however long I want to stick around for. I've got some energy. Let them go. Let those tears go. It's super powerful to come out of our tear ducts. Super powerful. Just think about where, right? Our eyes, that we see all these things in life, these tragedies and the beautiful things and the tapestries, and our eyes take in so much of this beautiful world, but it's filled with tragedy too, and that gets stored in the filing cabinets behind our eyes, and the tears are like little shredders that just let it go. They just shred all of the sad stuff, and we get to keep all the beautiful pictures. Okay, so let's get everybody back down. I'm going to make sure everybody's in a rested state, like a really calm place, before you go to sleep or before you go to work, depending on what time it is in your time zone. All right, let's get everybody down and start disconnecting the group. So for some of you, you may not feel the effects of this for 3 to 5 days. This is happening. Why am I happening? Has this happening 3 to 5 days from now? It just took your system a little bit longer to let it go. So some of you might have diarrhea. If you vomit, that's okay too. Don't panic, because sometimes we get trauma stuck deep in the tissues of our organs, like our gut. And when it goes into that gut, like it takes a little time to roll through the intestines, right? So that's okay. Just let me know, and if it's moderate, no big deal. But if it's severe, let me know. We'll do something. I'm always doing something. I can maybe just go on TikTok and do a live specifically for you, but we'll open it up for the group. Let's get everybody disconnected. Stay relaxed. Stick around if you can, because I want to make sure you are fully present in this moment right now, because this is your powerhouse. This is where you manifest. You can do mantras all day long, but if you're caught in the past, you're not going to manifest. You got to be here in this moment. Come down. It's probably going to take 4 to 8 minutes for everybody to return back. Some of us are cheetahs, some of us are snails. As long as we're moving forward, there's no judgment. Okay. Let's breathe it out. Make sure we're breathing. All right. So, calm and comfortable is good. Being at peace is powerful. Being at peace is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming to Annie's house.